Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So I got this one back out and a new one from Into Resin. So they're both Into Resin molds. I did this yesterday and didn't come out the way I wanted. If you didn't see that video, go back one day, check it out and see what not to do if you're using films inside of this mold. I'm going to keep it simple today. And I'm just going to put a color. So I'm going through all my cabinets, all these colors and alcohol inks and pigments and micas and, you know, all the choices that you have. And I came across these. I think Renee bought me these a while ago. I've used them a few times, especially the blue, because she really recommended the blue and bought me the entire set for the blue. These are metallic alcohol inks. I will link them below. They are by GRDZ Plus. But I don't remember using a lot of the colors. This one was open, so I must have used it on something. I put a ball bearing inside just to help shake up that metallic that's on the bottom. So I think I'm going to do the shell in metallic blue. And this here is a drawer. So this is the drawer. This is the little base. And this is going to like slide in and out of here like that. So I'm interested to see what this looks like. So I'm just going to do it easy and just color it. And I'm sure I'll probably do something after it's unmolded. I'm not sure. I don't know what this is going to look like till we unmold it. So I'm going to mix up probably 18. I know this was 10 yesterday, I think. I think I'm right. I better go check. And I don't know what this is, so I'm just going to mix up about 18 ounces. If we have extra, we have extra. If not, I'll make up some more. And I'll split the colors, color them, vacuum chamber them, and let's get started. Mixed and split 10 and 8, so we're just going to mix our colors exactly like I want them and then stick them in the vacuum chamber to get the bubbles out, because there are a lot of bubbles when you mix it like that. I have not used these colors for so long I cannot remember what they look like. I do remember that I like the blue, so that's why I chose the blue. And blue and silver are kind of oceany colors, and they're classically beautiful together. This has a sparkle in it, so that's the metallic. So I'm gonna do a couple more drops, see what happens. And I'm not gonna add any kind of glitter or anything, because when you have those diamond coated facets, you can't see through it anyway. So a color seems to be the best way. And generally, I mean, I do like mica powders in those too, but I think that your alcohol inks, in my opinion, give it the most sparkle effect that you get from those diamond facets. Just gonna scrape your sides. And that is, so looking at that, seeing that we're going to be pouring it pretty deep is the color that we're going to get. So I'm not going to be spreading it on a paper towel to see what it looks like thin, because we're not going to be pouring it thin, so it doesn't really matter. So that one's good enough. Let's see what the green one looks like. I cannot remember. Metallic green is what it's called. Get enough in there. This one I'm not sure if the actual drawer itself will be the same color as the little quote-unquote cabinet, I guess. And this one's gonna need a lot more pigment, because the drawer is much shallower. I'm gonna just squirt a good bit in there, because I think we're gonna need a lot. And I could pour the taller one first and then add a few more squirts before I pour the drawer, kind of like the pumpkin lid, because the pumpkin lid is always a little lighter when you use alcohol inks. because it's much shallower than the actual pumpkin. So I might just do that. See, that looks really pretty. I mean, it's very light if you pull it up, but it's good this way. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We might have to use a mica powder for the drawer thing. I don't know. We're going to learn together. And I may be doing that one again tomorrow, like I'm doing the seashell again today. 5 minutes seems to be the magic number in that vacuum chamber for me. So it doesn't matter how much resin I put in there. There's a couple surface bubbles, but that's normal. But it doesn't matter how much I put in there, 5 minutes it gets them all out. All right, I'm just going to pour this one and hope. I wonder if I should. Well, I didn't have any problems with bubbles along the edges, but it doesn't hurt to squish it down just to make sure. This is going to be one pretty color, I could tell you that already. And 10 ounces was not enough. So if I have extra in the green, I'm not going to be too happy about that. You know why? Because I didn't fill it up yesterday. That's why. I was thinking I was going to fill it. But you know what? It was plenty on the bottom. I'm going to check the one I did yesterday. I don't think it mattered. But if it does, I will definitely go back and fill it up. I think all I have to do is trim that edge. It's pretty close to full, but I think it could take another ounce. For sure another ounce, if not two. But like I said, I'll check the one I did yesterday and make sure it's not detrimental. When you don't have a lid trying to fit on something, it's probably not a big deal. But again, I will look and see. Try to clean my mess up here as I go. Now for this one, like I said, I'm going to pour the cabinet, I guess, part. Maybe I'll do a little bit and squish it around because this is a little thin on these sides. See how thin that side's gonna be? No, we're gonna find out. And if I don't have enough for the two of them, then obviously I will just go ahead and mix some more. So the question is, do I add more or do I take my chances? You know what? I'm going to take my chances this time. And for next time, we will know if we have to adjust. So I think that's a good way to do it. And this one too, I just want to pick it up and squash it around because these sides are kind of thin. And I have exactly enough. There are 0 extras, you guys. But I really needed a couple more ounces for the blue. But I had plenty for this one. I'm going to put that last little drip into the conch shell that I'll be giving away soon. It is almost full. All right, if I need to add to it, I will. If not, we'll see you at demold. I decided to give you a little bonus since I don't have any extras for you. So I was doing this off camera because it's an order and she wanted it like I did before. So I don't do duplicate videos. This is for a viewer named Donna. So I'll put the picture. This is the picture of the one that I did a few weeks back. You can go watch that video if you want to. And she just wanted it exactly the same, but at first she wanted a little bit more red, and then I was trying to let her know that if you put it too close to this color, you won't see the flower on the top. And then she said, well, just do it exactly the same way. So that's why I was doing it off camera. So I just put the same powders in as I did on that video, cleaned it all off, and that's where I was at. So as I was mixing my resin, so I mixed up 20 ounces this time. Last time I did 18. So we're gonna see if 20 ounces on this mold. This is an Into Resin mold as well, so it's fitting for today's video. I used my interference red, which I'm going to use a lot again, but I think I'm gonna add a few more things to it. So I'm gonna put 2 good scoops of my interference red. Let me move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. I pulled out a couple of mica powders that are really close to the flower. I've also pulled out my alcohol ink color shift in pink, green, and gold. So I think I'm going to do a combination of all 3 of these and see how it looks. I don't see why. I mean, the interference red wasn't enough on the other video that I did. That, or I just didn't put enough in it. Now I put more this time, but I think I'm just going to play around with it. I always send pictures to people before they pay for something that they don't like, but these ball bearings, they do get stuck in your tip, so I just want to put some of that in here. I don't know if it's going to do anything or not, but being it was in the same color scheme as my interference red, I figured I would do that. And then with this mica powder, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this chestnut by Let's Resin. Looks the closest to the flower. Look, it's not even open, so we're going to try a new one. And I'm not going to put a lot in, like barely anything, because I don't want it red. I just want a hint of red, and if I ruin it, I'm gonna have to redo this 20 ounces, but I wanted to take the chance, and I figured I would bring you along for the ride. I barely put any in, but that did give it a much redder look to it. So I'm going to just mix this pretty well. And I might even add a little bit. Let me look at that next to this. See, because I didn't want it really super close. So I'm going to add some white, what do I have? Mother of Pearl, just to tone that red down. It's like an experiment, you guys. A little bit of this, then you have to offset it with that, but then you offset it too much, so you add a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want to ruin 20 ounces of resin, but thought I had a good idea. So that Mother of Pearl did tone it down. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I do need to mix this really, really well. So I'm going to mix this good, throw it through the vacuum chamber, and then I'll bring you back and you can pour it with me. And let's pour it in. Yeah, I was very surprised on the last video how much this thing held. Well, most of it goes into this lid. This lid holds over 10 ounces. I think it was 13 ounces or something like that. I had to go back and re-watch before I poured this, so I didn't do that again. So that was 10 that just went in there. I do not have a plug or anything made of silicone that I could use to plug it to use less resin, because the lid is much heavier than the base of this mold. So that's, we'll see if it holds all 20. I never did pour the rest on the last video, so I don't know exactly how much this is going to hold. think I'm going to pour it in and squish it around the edge. I do have the lid domed, so that's good. And you never know, I might end up with extras from this. And yes, I'm going to end up with extras, a lot of extras. So this just went from a really simple, quick video to a much more complicated. I should have stuck with the 18, I guess. Let me see what I have left. Oh boy. We might be making us a little elk. I've got 3 ounces left. Yep, we can make a little elk. So actually, no, you know what I'm gonna do? I've got this other into resin mold. Let's pour it in there. Should I alter the color though? Yeah, I'm gonna alter the color. Let me see what I can come up with. I got that same chestnut that I put. I'm just gonna put in a little bit more. If I could find a tiny little stick. I'll put a little more in and get it darker. See what it looks like in this little conch tray mold. I'm probably stirring in bubbles, but that'll be okay. You won't be able to see it in that one. So that's really pretty. Okay, let me pour this one in, and then I'm going to let everything, I'm going to walk away this time, although I have a ton of orders to do, you guys, and I'm pretty sure you'll probably like to see them all, so I'm just trying to get to them. It's very difficult. I have so many that came in at one time. So just know, if you do want to order, it can take a couple of weeks for me to get to them. So I do not have enough to make an elk now because I wanted to do this one instead. I think this one holds about 2 ounces if I'm correct, 1.5 to 2. What do I got left? I have just under 2 ounces, so I'll just pour this in something random and we'll show you at the end. Time to unmold. So I have all of this, and I also made a little bear. I already finished her, sorry. So she's got a little crown, she has a little flower in her hand, some butterfly on her ear, earrings, and a little bow with a rhinestone in it. So that's my one extra. This was the other extra. Let's see what this color looks like in this diamond-like mold. This is a little conch tray. Oh, that came out nice. I may go around the edge. What do you think? Super duper shiny. What do you think about the color? I could see all the little crystals in there from the interference red and the alcohol ink. All right, well, let's do this one since I didn't plan on doing this one today, on camera anyway, and see how it came out. Oh, that looks nice. I think she's going to be happy with that. That color came out much better than the first one. So I do have to go around these with rhinestones like I did on the other one, and in the center she wanted that all the same, but that color looks great. It's not as light as the first one that I did. So that little tiny touch of mica powder, I think, did the trick. Hopefully she likes it. Well, this one's got the diamond-like on the bottom of it. Grab it, pull it out. There we go. That looks so much better than my first one. I really like it. Get the top on there. There we go. It's a nice size, hefty jar too. Plus it's really heavy. So there's plenty you can put in there. I don't see any bubbles. I have just a little sanding to do right there, not much. A little bit right here, but not much. Look at how silky that color came out. All right, let me set that aside. I will finish that off camera since that was not a planned event. And let's do this one. I'm anxious to see. Hopefully it's cool enough to unmold. Come on. Oh, look at that. It's got a little handle so you could pull it in and out. That's cute. Now I see the shimmer that's really nice on the front of that, so that's good. It's everywhere, but it's very, very prominent at the front, so that worked out well. Hopefully, oh, look at this. It's got little feet on the bottom. Huh. I think I'm gonna try to, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Let me get this stuff out of the way. I want to flip it backwards. Hopefully I won't mess the mold up, but I don't know how else you would get something like this out. Well, yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of suctioned to the bottom. There, it's coming. So obviously there's a definite up and a definite down. So that would be the top. This is the bottom with the 4 feet. Can you see the 4 feet right there? And there is a little container. Isn't that adorable? It fits. This is definitely plenty small enough. It didn't even bend out of shape or anything. So it's plenty small enough it's not going to get stuck in there. So that's good. Does need a little trimming on the back here, but I'm thinking I might do something to that. We will see in just a few moments. Let's try to get this seashell out first without bending it. I love these seashell jars. All of them that they have are really, really cool. All right, here we go. Needs trimming, of course, because I didn't fill it all the way up. Well, that's a strange reaction. Wonder what that happened. It's like folded on there. Huh. Anyway, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. That is a beautiful color. And there's a shimmer to it from the sides. So the metallics you can see from here. Obviously you can't see them inside all of that, but you can see them from here. So let me get some trimming done, a little bit of embellishments, and see you on the back side. All right, everything is done finally. That took quite a long time. Here is the little conch shell dish. Now, when I went over these little dots that are embedded in the mold, the top wasn't too bad, but these that I went over with rhinestones, they had a ton of holes in them because they're such small, tiny little gemstones they use to mold. So I didn't like the way it looked with the marker, so I did go over those with some golden rhinestones because they look a little bit better. These weren't as horrible, so I did leave it with, there's a couple bubbles in some of them, but not as bad as these all were, so I did cover those up. Here is the stunning shell tray, dish soap holder, trinket tray, whatever you want to call it. It is gorgeous with the silver. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I see I missed a few here I have to get. That's no problem. Now with this little box, I just went in each little intersection with a little blue-green rhinestone. And here is the front. So I didn't go too crazy on that. So you could put your rings in there or earrings, whatever you want to put. So that came out really, really cute. I forgot that at all when I ordered it. I didn't even realize I ordered it. And here is the final outcome on this. Now, I was so worried the whole time I was putting these on that I didn't have enough. And I literally had them exactly to the very last stone. So it took all the rest of that size of my diamond rhinestones for that. I was like so thankful. And then I went in the center with teeny tiny ones, so that is finished. So I hope she likes this color. I think it's much better than the other one. And stick around for those final photos, everyone. Thanks for hanging in there with me. What started out as 2 projects turned into 5 as usual. And tomorrow, let me show you. So I made a new mold. And I am going to be doing this. So I made a coffee cup coaster and I have big plans for this and I hope it works. So tune back in tomorrow and you will see me use the new mold. This will be available tomorrow as well. And I will see everybody then. Stick around till 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Bye, everyone.